Sunday, day 8, gonna be a good day. Got the Kunk Cup with my ketones in it. The bombest cold brew I've ever made. What I did, just Four Sigmatic, like Lion's Made coffee in the cold brew, and then I threw quite a bit of cinnamon, like 2 teaspoons, maybe even 2 teaspoons of cinnamon in there with the coffee grounds, just a tiny little dash of cardamom, some nutmeg, and then I had some Madagascar vanilla beans, and I chopped up probably about 1.25 inches of those into little pieces in there, and this is just fire. I mean, absolute fire. It turned out way better than I imagined it would be. But had a late one in bed this morning, went to bed late, and just no alarms, nothing, sleep as long as you need to, recuperate. It's Sunday, so don't have time to do too much this morning. Basically just gonna use the bathroom, red light therapy, and stand for 10-20 minutes, then make a huge lunch and get to work. Don't know if I'm gonna have, basically not going to have time to prep actual like work at lunch, so just gonna have a massive meal here this morning, kind of whatever I can throw together, like 6 eggs, a pound of beef, and some kimchi probably. There's really an orange. There's really not much else. Then I'll have a protein drink for lunch, and that'll be it for the day. Gonna basically be just cutting weight, cutting fat until after I go to Shambhala in Canada, and then I'll want to start packing on some muscle. I'm gonna build up. I'm not gonna cut. I mean, I am losing weight pretty aggressively right now, just with the condensed eating window and my habituated eating at night, and the fact that I just haven't gone shopping and gotten convenient foods. Plus, my drain was clogged and couldn't clean dishes for 4 days. So yeah, that's the plan for now. Just get really lean going up to Shambhala, and I'll start, really trying to eat pretty aggressively after that. But one of the things I'm thinking, I'll probably do a 5-day fast right before I go up to Shams, just because when I'm traveling, it's super inconvenient to try to use the bathroom to try to take a shit as a paralyzed person and take a piss, obviously. Flying 6 hours, waking up super early in the morning, flying 6 hours over there, 6 or 7 or 8 hours, whatever it is, if we have layovers and stops, hopping in a car, driving another 6 hours, staying in a hotel, waking up super early, going and getting in line, waiting in line for whatever it is, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. We waited 12 hours before, 13 hours to get into the festival, because they got to search everyone's car for alcohol. No alcohol allowed at the festival. And then setting up camp, and then have to locate and make sure, have access to, they had a great handicap bathroom set up last year, but get access to all that. So yeah, I'm gonna do a 5-day fast and just have an empty system so I don't have to worry about it. And then I'll refeed the first couple days, because we're going up a couple days early before the festival actually really gets underway. So I'll have a couple days to just be in the mountains, be in the stream, in the river, and be refueling, relaxing, chilling, kind of getting into the party atmosphere and the party mode. And then, have 3 days of festival craziness, and then a day to kind of unwind afterwards. Back here, back to work. So that's the plan. And day 8 is gonna be a good one. I'm gonna get going, have my stimulant cocktail for the morning and, you know, then go sell some health insurance. Come home to my bike and stand, edit videos later. Maybe I'll try to get the video editing done at work, actually. Time will tell. All right, got a final verdict on breakfast. 3 poached eggs, a pound of ground beef, a little bit of ginger kimchi, I don't know what that is, an orange, and 2 fried plantains left over from the barbecue I had last night. Don't love that they're fried in oil, but just wanted to get as many kind of calories as possible, since this will likely be my only meal today besides a protein shake this afternoon. If I have time, I'd like to stop grocery store on the way to work today and just grab like 2 or 3 cans of sardines, just to get a little more protein and calories in than this, because I can tell just from how I feel right now after I eat this, I'm still going to be really hungry in a couple of hours. But listen to a Chris Williamson podcast or an episode, YouTube episode, unexpectedly fantastic episode. He just like summarized, it's like 15 things I've learned from 800 interviews or something like that. It just popped up as like the next suggested video from whatever I was watching before, and started playing, and it's been fantastic. It's just a really insightful, well thought out, you know, great show that's kind of dredging up a lot of interesting thoughts in my own head. So excited for the day. Love something that's stimulating and motivating in the morning. And yeah, that's it. Gonna plow this, do some dishes from the buildup of, you see the massive buildup from the drain fiasco, and then hit the road. Also gonna take a big pile of supplements with breakfast for night and day supplements for that heavy metal detox and everything else I got going on. But that's it for now. We are back in the Grand Caravan of Dreams. Headed into work, sell some health insurance. Found it so difficult today to leave for work and just go in and sell health insurance. I get zero deeply intrinsic meaning, fulfillment, or dedication from the work itself. I get incredible fulfillment from being able to provide and pay my bills and have security and all that shit, I suppose, and to go do something that I don't like in the pursuit of better things. But you know, that's all just stories I'm telling myself. The actual act and actions that I'm doing, I mean, yeah, it's fairly unfulfilling. The sad truth is, all health insurance sucks. The whole medical industrial complex of America is fucked up, and I'm just, you know, one small part of it, extracting money from a broken system, and I just can't dilute myself or trick myself or tell fancy stories to my own mind to make it any different than what it is. And there's also the looming fact that I'll be completely obsolete within 6 to 36 months. You have to be an insane person to be an insurance agent right now and think that you're not being taken out of the equation by artificial intelligence in the next 3 years. It's so obvious. An agent is someone who is basically a middleman that has a bit more knowledge than you, that helps the transaction along by steering you into a product or service. And they're just not going to be necessary. Certainly not for health insurance. You'll go online
you'll input, you'll fill out, a couple-page questionnaire, probably all your information and demographics, age, location, family size, medical needs, the doctors that you want to be included in the insurance coverage, and a artificial intelligence system is going to be able to sift through a billion bytes of information in a matter of seconds and output all the available plans and outline all the pros and cons of each one, and just sign you up without dealing with anyone, without any polluted financial motivation, as long as you were using a well-designed system that took its payment in an ethical way, where it just gave you the best plan and took a little payment that way, rather than, a system designed by, X United Healthcare Blue Cross Blue Shield, that is designed by whatever company to just recommend you their best plan. But yeah, it's happening. So on top of, even if I could trick myself into deriving deeper meaning by, helping people find health insurance, which I do find joy in, and I do take pride in being honest and helping people find what they actually need. But that's regardless. Even if I could find really deep meaning in it, it's going to be gone. Maximum 5 years. I think 3 is a pretty, that's a long shot that it makes it that long without at least seriously impacting it. But 5, I mean, it's obsolete. Agents in insurance, they're completely gone. You'll never use one. You'll just talk to an AI system or anything else that's trained from the calls of 40,000 agents. It just has so much more knowledge than any one person could ever retain, and so much less likelihood to be biased towards certain plans because they pay more commission or less commission, whatever. So yeah, super difficult to get in there today, but on my way, gonna do what has to be done. But all that does, rather than make me feel hopeless about life, which it has in the past, having a job where I didn't derive meaning and didn't derive, the satisfaction that I need personally or want to experience on a day in, day out basis with whatever I'm doing. The fact that I don't have that used to make me feel depressed, make me feel hopeless, and make me wonder what the hell I'm doing with my life and all that. But now it's just gasoline in the tank. It's just fuel on my burning desire to create value in the world, and in return get enough monetary benefit from that to live, to create value in the world. It's something that I really enjoy and I love. I love making videos. I love sharing stuff. I love writing books, and that's where I want to devote a huge portion of my energy. I'm just gaining more energy from my dislike of what I'm doing now. That's just fueling the love for what I'm doing on the side. And that's just how it has to be, unless you have unless you're lucky enough to have the support and or just financial means to completely pursue your dreams outside of work, outside of having to work, and you can pay for everything and do everything and keep up your commitments and all that, then it has to start as a side project. So yeah, that's that. But the one thing I've been thinking a lot about is, like, I have all these goals and things that these external things that I want to accomplish, that I work towards and all that, but those aren't, that's not the goal. The goal for me, the main goal for me, has always and always will be happiness and just calmness, tranquility, a lack of anxiety. I spent my entire childhood miserable, scared, filled with anxiety from a multitude of reasons. I had a great childhood. Especially looking back, it was fantastic, and knowing what I know now and knowing how it could have been. When I was a child, I didn't know how else it could have been. I couldn't perceive how other people's lives were going. I hadn't met other people yet, and I couldn't comprehend it when I did. But now I realize I had a wonderful, amazing childhood, filled with love, filled with support. I think I was bumping music. And yeah, it was great. But at the time, because of, a few small events that happened when I was young, I perceived that if anyone ever truly knew me, they wouldn't love me. I was somehow ingrained in my early psyche that I wasn't worthy of love, and so I always hid who I actually was. I thought I was a bad person. I thought I was an evil person. I thought I was made wrong or something. I don't know. I didn't think these things consciously as a child, but yeah, they somehow got into the fabric of my consciousness, and for that reason I had immense lack of safety and fear, and I didn't like I always wanted to I also derived a lot of anxiety and fear from being in society. Like, I didn't separate it from that. I didn't want to be trapped in jobs and working. I wanted to be out in the wild, catching wild animals, hunting things, eating, building shelters, doing all of that. I wanted to be a wild creature so badly, a wild human. And anything other than that filled me with incredible amounts of anxiety. So yeah, I had just a lot going on, and for whatever reason, my early years, all of my teens, were just filled with a ton of fear, just permeated with different types of fear. I say anxiety, but there's there's only fear and not fear. There's only a state of courage, and it's not even necessarily courage is maybe the wrong word. I don't know what the right word is, the opposite of fear. But there's really only two emotions in life. There's either fear and not fear. And every other emotion is bred from those two states of being. If, anxiety, anger, sadness, everything bad, any negative, jealousy, resentment, whatever it is, any negative emotion or state of being that we're experiencing is always coming from a place of fear, a fear of being rejected, a fear of death, a fear of not having enough. If you follow the vein back far enough, every emotion leads back to fear, I believe. And every good emotion, in some way, it comes from not fear. It comes, like, if you're happy and excited, it comes from a place of not fearing anything, of not being scared of not having something, of not being scared of not liked, of not being scared. You're only able to really take on those good emotions and experiences in a state of a lack of fear. And there can be a mixture. There can be a balance of both, at all times. You can have a lack of fear in one dimension of your life and have a ton of fear in another dimension, so you're able to experience a certain level of mixed emotions. But anyways, because I spent so much time in just a incredibly negative, fearful state for so long, I just wanted to escape that forever, for as long as I can remember, from as young and as that's not true, from like maybe 6 or 7 years old, I actually remember existing in a state of abundance and happiness and joy and curiosity. But from somewhere in like kindergarten, first grade, everything I remember is just wanting to escape a state of fear. And that's all I've pursued my whole life. I, flew to Australia and hitchhiked the East Coast and flew to Indonesia and basically lived like a homeless person there, and hitchhiked down the west coast of Australia and traveled around that country and lived, went and adventured in New Zealand and flew alone to Africa and started riding my bike, through Africa with no plan and just sleeping out in the wilderness, all in the pursuit of escaping a state of fear. Everything I've ever done has been for that reason. Not recently, but for a long time. And no, that's not true. Everything I'm still doing is to do that myself and habituate and ingrain the ability to live in calmness, tranquility, and grace as much as possible, and to, help people who are at different points of that journey do the same thing. I really hate the idea of anyone living with as much suffering as I've lived with, and just want to be a small, relief valve on that in whatever way possible. Because so many people have been that for me over the course of the last many decades, 3 decades, in different ways. So, yeah, don't know exactly where I'm going with it or what I'm sharing at this particular moment in time, but just that it's not, it's not easy to do what we have to do in this world. No workout, or it was so much easier to hop on a plane and fly across the world to Africa with a bike and everything I needed to basically exist self-sustaining and alone in the African wilderness than it is for me to hop in my car and drive and sell health insurance. It was so much easier. There was still a ton of fear and everything involved, but the decision was obvious. It was obvious to me that that was the right choice, and that would lead to good things and lead to rewards and all that. Waking up and going to a job you dislike, it is not abundantly obvious in any way that's going to lead to a reward, and that's why I won't do it for, more than a certain amount of time, longer than I have to. I'll use it as motivation to build outside of that. But yeah, anyways, that is the end of it. I'm gonna go in there and gear up and do what I gotta do. Cold call a bunch of people and text a bunch of people and see if they want to buy some health coverage so I can pay my mortgage, support the things that I love to do and the people that I love. And that's all she wrote. Luckily enough, I do work with a ton of people that I really enjoy and I like, and we've got a great workplace culture, so that makes a huge difference. It would be, God, I can't even imagine if I had to go in here and work around a bunch of people I hated and drive me insane. That's the ultimate nightmare. Layer doing something you don't like with people you don't like, and you have a real recipe for disaster. So at least I got a bunch of people who I enjoy being around, go hang out with them, catch up, do my own thing, sell some health insurance, edit some videos, get a gnarly chest work in, and call it another day in the books, day number 8, but not yet. We're not calling it yet. But goodbye for now. Hello again. And now we're in my gym at work. I was actually talking during this workout, but the audio was terrible between the fan and the fact that I just need an actual audio recording device. I've got a Rode Wireless Go, but it's out of commission for some reason, so I just gotta order something new. But gonna do chest.
start out here with 60 pounds, but as we will see in just a second, let's get to that real quick. A little bit faster than wheelchair speed. I'll show the transfer though, just because I guess that is, more relevant to a lot of people who are in wheelchairs considering working out. And actually, getting onto and off of a bench was pretty intimidating when I first started working out, especially the sitting up part. It's actually pretty difficult, but now I've kind of got my technique down, as we'll see in just a minute. But important point to make here, being able to bench 120 pounds, 260 is not crazy hard for me at this point in my workout journey, but being able to get the weights up, as you'll see here, is insanely difficult because I apparently can't curl 60 pounds. I was just testing to see if the weight was too much, and the weight's perfect. It's fine, but I can't get it from this position, especially with my weak right shoulder. So we're gonna hop back in the wheelchair, and this is what I do. I set my wheelchair up sideways with the brakes on. I reach over across the seat and grab the farthest bar, and that has been kind of the easiest way I found to sit up from a flat bench without struggling too much. But yeah, it's definitely difficult, and you'll see here my legs spasming like crazy. I have to wait for those to chill out. That's just from when I sit for a while and then I go to lay down, I get crazy leg spasms. We'll get through that a little bit faster than real time, because that's pretty boring to watch. Just a guy sitting there with his legs shaking. Not the most exciting content. Not that this is top tier excitement. Anyway, I couldn't get that weight back up there. I literally could not get it in position. The other one fell, if you didn't see that. That sideways lift, sorry to whoever came to the gym next, but there's no way that weight was going in there. Just impossible. So now, got some 50s, more manageable, and we'll just put those up kind of to just before failure. Just get a nice little chest pump going. And I've been so I started watching some of Sam Sulek's videos. If you don't know who he is, he's just a freak 22, 23-year-old bodybuilder kid. And it was actually quite liberating for me in the sense of, I hate just going in, doing 3 sets of 12 or whatever volume-based training. It's a lot more fun to kind of do. And I've trained this style in the past, but just basically, go to failure. Get as many as you can in, some partial reps near the end if you have to, and just, near failure. But I'm recording this the day after, and let me just say, it was successful. I am as sore as, I would be if I went in there and did a totally volume-based training, but just trying to keep my shoulders loose, open up that chest from sitting hunched over all the time in the wheelchair. Just take that time to stretch it out. Oh, look at that. Look how fast I'm going. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah. Go, 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 go. Just speeding through this because you can only watch, you don't need to watch, real time whole workout. But I do like to do a lot of shoulder and chest stretching when I'm laying there, just because my chest muscles shorten and get real tight from being in the wheelchair all the time. So just take that opportunity. Normally at the end of the workout as well, I'll grab some 10-pound dumbbells and just really stretch that fascia and everything out on my chest when I'm done. And I didn't do that today, but going to switch to just some dumbbell flies. Not a little bit heavy probably for flies for me. Probably could have gone to 40s, but that's all right. It did the job. Just maybe it is not a bad weight, but just a testament to the fact that it's probably not the weight I should be benching with. But yeah, I would have to move to the flat bench to get a more appropriate weight to be honest, because I just can't, or unless I, had a workout partner that could basically set one dumbbell and then the other in my hands, which I have done in the past. That's the ideal scenario for dumbbell bench. But yeah, just get a couple more little push in the end there, and here we go. We're actually in fast motion here. It's hard to tell. I'm not just panting like crazy. We are at 10 times speed, to be honest with you. But yeah, anyways, bust out another set, kind of just before failure. I don't go crazy failure right now just because I keep doing that and hurting my right labrum or right shoulder that I had torn, but pretty dang close to failure. Yeah, bust out 3 sets of those and didn't have any reps left of me there, and that's it. And this is this is for anyone interested that missed the first one. A little more tired now, so I kind of shimmy myself off to the side to get the right angle, grab onto that bar, and then push up with the right arm, pull up with the left arm, and it works pretty good. It works better when my legs aren't spasming. Like you see, it is there. My hamstring's kind of trying to throw me backwards, but that's just part of the game. Working on the wheelchair, but hop back in the chair and move on to the next one. You can see I'm talking there. The audio is terrible. So here I am now. All right, here we go. Just set it up at a nice angle here. And back in there. So again, with this, it's going to be, is this the right amount of weight? And always pop that up if you're paralyzed, as kind of, it would be nice if even that went a little bit higher, because I do slide down pretty easily. Can't plant my feet against the ground. Just a little helpful tip. You don't slide off the end of the bench. That has happened to me a few times. But get wheelchair out of the way. Get legs into a nice wide position. I skipped it because it took me forever. And surprise, surprise, I can't get the weight up. So 50s were actually too much at this, this higher angle, and that's mostly a testament to the fact that I need to do some more curls, I guess. Work out those biceps, pumping myself up. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Go, 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 go. Oh, you fuck. You can't do it. You can't do it. Give up. You already know you're going to fail because this is future you talking. Yeah, I tried hard. I just couldn't. Yeah. Oh, and the moment of realization. Yeah, it's not going to happen, buddy. Get out of there. Grab my pants to get the pull-up. Sit up, because I couldn't quite grab onto the bench without throwing myself forward. Don't know what I just said there, but, testament to my hurried video editing that I just did. I'm going to leave it in, otherwise my voiceover will be ill-timed, and I have a limited amount of time here. So 45s, I think, is what I went with. Yeah, 45, 99% sure. My chest is my weakest area. I mean, my legs are definitely my weakest area of my body, I would say. But, upper body wise, main muscle groups, my chest needs a lot of work. I've never been much for benching, but now that I'm so limited in the amount of exercise I do, I definitely focus on it a lot more. So just going to bust these out to, again, right near failure. Not 100, like maybe could have got another few, definitely could have got another few partial reps in there, but just, I really can't afford to tear this labrum or whatever the hell I have going on with my shoulder again. But yeah, just bust out just a couple of sets of these. Nothing special. The getting it up's the hardest part. I'll throw myself up there. Technique if you can't sit up.
and then I'll turn it over to me. That's this last one. And grab the weights first, I suppose. That would help. Just gonna go light, some 20s. They're basically assisting me. So actually, the lighter I go, the easier it is, I guess, technically. But yeah, these are great to engage the core. And I mean, they mostly lower back, but it's a lot of lower core as well. It definitely gets these muscles that I really need to target personally to strengthen. But basically, what it is just lower down, touch, and raise back up. What I do is I squeeze through the abs and then pull through the lower back. Oh, these suck. I absolutely hate these. Oh, hate but love. Oh. 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 And I guess you can actually cheat these and not use the core. You have to mean to engage the core. Oh. One more. 7 in a row. Yeah, I guess it's important to note on those, you can really cheat. You can swing yourself back as much as you want. You're still going to do something for you. It's still going to be an exercise. But the important part is only use these counterbalance weights as much as you need to. And really, you can push it just a little farther back and get that tilt, but just leave it that 1 millimeter less than you need and force your core down here and back muscles to do the work. Another one, I do these as a superset. Let's do it. These are another one. Cheat, or you can really use those obliques. Alright, I don't want to edit any more film or have any more storage space taken up, so I'm going to do one more set, 7 or 8 of the sit ones. And if you don't have weights, another version of that you can do. It's probably even a bit better. Just go as far forward as you can. Stop, pull back. Stop. Pull back. You just go right to the tipping point. You can't go any farther forward. I'll do 2 more. 5 of those. Oh, I cheated a little downward. A little too far forward. I don't know why, I think those are better. They allow more control. More control than these ones do. I'll do 7 more of those, 5 more of these, 10 more oblique crunches. Call it a day. Go upstairs, work for a couple more hours, and get home and meal prep, stand, bike. That's it. Try to get to bed at a reasonable time, and not try. Edit everything that I have to edit. Here I'm basically done. Yeah, but I'm gonna finish up soon.